Hello there. Today's video is on JavaScript. So let's get started. I've got this blank page here, and here's the HTML code for it. And you may be asking yourself, what is JavaScript? Well, first off, you know what HTML is. It's going to do things like define button. So let's do click me, exclamation, button, save that, refresh. There you go. Button defines things. And that's what HTML does, is defines things. You know CSS as well, because there's going to be a style tag with slash style tag to close it, and then oops, what's that period doing? In the middle, you're going to wind up having button, curly braces, enter, and then have a background yellow, semicolon, padding of 25 pixels, semicolon, and border radius of say 20 pixels, semicolon, save that. And CSS does styling. Okay, fine. So JavaScript is actually a client-sided scripting language. So in the HTML CSS world, when I click this button, theoretically it leads me to a different page, and I have to make a request of the server to send me to that other page. But JavaScript does things on the browser side of things. That's your side of things while you're surfing the internet. I don't have to query the server. The server tells my browser, in this case Firefox, ahead of time what it needs to do, and when I actually do it, you know, it does its magic. It actually adds a little extra functionality and a little bit of dynamics, gives your page a little bit of pop is the term, although I hate the term pop because it's not a quantifiable measurement. But let's do a little JavaScript here. So let's do the most simple thing in the world. Let's do script, and oh, I'm still in the style tags. That's the problem. Let's get out of the style tags. So script slash script, and that'll close it. And we need to do a type equals text slash JavaScript. So that says that it will be JavaScript. Most browsers can generally handle the fact that this is JavaScript without me saying that, but it's, you know, nice to know that that command's still there. So the thing we're going to do is an alert, and that is a built-in function. So a function will specify the function, then it has a couple of parentheses, and there may be something in the parentheses, and then you end all of your lines in JavaScript with a semicolon. So in this case, you actually do have to pass it a parameter, and that's what this is. It's a parameter to say hello world, which basically says show this up on the screen. So let's save that and refresh, and we get a little pop-up. And it's not HTML and it's not CSS that builds that little pop-up window. It's actually the browser that does it, as it was told by the JavaScript. So once I click OK, it goes to the page. Alright, so you can do this in multiple ways. Let's copy that. You can actually do it on the button, and that shows more of the functionality of JavaScript. Let's do on click equals open quote, and I'm going to do the single quote so it doesn't conflict with my double quotes around the hello world. Now when I refresh the page, normally when I would click a button, it would go to HTML and CSS and say, okay, I need to request, you know, whatever this button does from the browser, and then it does something, or need to request it from the server, and the server does the work. However, the browser here already knows what to do, so when I click the button, it knows to click that little pop-up. Alright, so this alert is a built-in function, but what if you want to build your own function? Well, you can do that as well by, let's take that out and do technological semicolon. Now, functions are case sensitive, and they, of course, they're sensitive to spelling. So we're going to do a function and define our own. We're going to call it technological. Got to have the parentheses. And this time we're going to have curly braces. So let's enter, and then in there we're going to put alert hello world. And actually we're going to change that to this is a function. Save that, refresh. Now when I click it, this is a function, but it doesn't have to be here. So okay, so the idea is you can have multiple buttons on the page, and as you click each one of them, you can have an on-click event that pops up a window or does a thing. And if you stick it in the head here, you can do it once and then just put this method on every one of the buttons. But what if you want to do it on multiple pages? You can embed this function in an external file, just like you would with CSS. And now this can be referenced by all of the pages, and then all of your buttons on your entire website can do it. Now, when you do that, you want to dedicate a whole line to that external file. So you do script, and you do type equals text slash JavaScript, and then you do source equals, and in this case the name of the file is hello.js. Oh, I forgot to put that in quotes. Let's put that in quotes. And then right away you just close your script tags. Don't stick anything in between the opening and the closing script that reference an external file. It may work, it may not, I don't know, but it's bad form and you should never do that. So let's save that and then refresh. Now when I click the button, there you go. Actually, let's change that. This is an external function. So we save that, refresh the page. Now when I click it, this is an external function. Now I can put this on every page, and you know, every page will just reference that external file. Okay, so now that we've defined an external function, let's do one more thing. We're going to cheat a bit. Let me go to this other page, and this is the Google hosted libraries. JavaScript gets kind of long to write and complex to write, so you may want to use something called jQuery, where these people have been nice enough to develop their own jQuery, their own little JavaScript functions, and they let you use them for free. They're cool like that, and you don't even have to host it on your website because Google will host it for you. And I would recommend going this route because, one, Google's going to have a faster server than you do, and it takes a little work off of your server. And two, they're going to have a server closer than yours probably is, unless you've got some really awesome cloud solution, which you probably don't. But if you do, then good for you. But you can copy this and reference Google's servers. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and we're going to paste that. They didn't do the text JavaScript, the type equals text JavaScript. We'll just let that slide for right now. As you can tell, this is the minified file, which means it's been condensed to make it even smaller and run faster. But let's go ahead and get out of here, get rid of this external that we made, and do what's called jQuery. So jQuery's got an unusual way of writing. So you can do a $, and then you can do open quote document dot ready. So whenever the document is ready, and this is still a function, so it's got to have the parentheses in there, and then you put another inside of those parentheses. Let's put a semicolon on the end of that. Inside of those parentheses, I'm going to put function, open parentheses, close parentheses. So I'm sticking a function inside of a function. And then I need the curly braces. Oh, clicked with my mouse there. Curly braces. And this is getting kind of long, so I'm going to hit enter. And now you can still see where the curly brace here closes the curly brace up here. This parentheses closes this parentheses before function, and that's the end of the line. Alright, so inside of there I can do alert, open parentheses, semicolon, and then say open quote, hello jQuery, exclamation, save that. Now let's refresh the page. There we go, hello jQuery. You can even stick a jQuery inside of a jQuery, which seems like, you know, that's kind of complex. So we'll do dollar open parentheses. By the way, I didn't mention it, but document is the web page. So that's what document is referring to. And then it says, well, when it's ready, and since this is in the parentheses, when it's ready, go ahead and run this function, and then that function was the alert. In this case, we're going to do a little bit of magic with the button. So we'll do $ button, and we're going to do a dot hide open parentheses close parentheses dot fade in, and this is case sensitive, remember, so you have to do the camel case. So this is going to hide the button, and then it's going to make it fade in, and since this is measured in milliseconds, this is called the parameter. So this is the value that we pass it. It'll float in 3 seconds. So let's refresh. Hidden, and then it fades in 3 seconds. So that's how to embed, the most basic lesson of how to embed JavaScript in your web page on an HTML object, and how to embed jQuery into your page as well. So there you go. Hopefully you'll pick some more JavaScript and jQuery up, and thanks for watching.
If you've enjoyed the experience of this tutorial, why not share it with your friends?